guys, it's Lynn here. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Now guys, this is just a very quick video on an update on the Lophophora diffusa Cactus that I had to save from a case of dry rot, almost like the rust that sadly it's like a fungal disease that does commonly affect Lophophora. Now, I've had this on a few of my Lophophoras before and I've managed to save them. And it's almost like a dry rot that affects the roots. And I managed to dissect the plant. If you haven't seen the video where I actually dissected this plant to try and save it, links up above to that video. Do go over and watch it and give you an idea of what's happened. But basically what's happened, the roots died back and it formed the common orangey type of rust that these plants are prone to. And although sometimes it can be lethal, the plant can die, I have saved a few Lophophoras in the past, similar things like this and on cacti. So basically what happened is I dissected the plant and I treated it with flowers of sulphur, or yellow sulphur powder as it's commonly called. And I've let this callus over now possibly for a good few weeks. And sadly, the one plant carried on, it is literally turned to powder and completely went. But the one plant I've managed to save, and as you can see here, it's pretty healthy enough. The tap root is nice and firm. It still has the roots, pretty healthy. And it's nice and firm, the actual plant itself. So fingers crossed, this could make a very good recovery. So I'm going to let you know how it gets on in the coming weeks. And as now it's spring, it's going to be safe enough to pot it up. But as you can see, that's pretty firm there, and it looks pretty much okay. Now what I've done is I like to use a loam-based soil, and I make up my own. And in this case, I've used a John Innes number 2 with added perlite and very small amount of grit as well, and extra horticultural sand. And I do like to use an extra well-draining soil with Lophophora. With certain types of cacti, it depends on what you're growing. I always like with the desert cacti that can be prone to rot, like Lophophora for example, I use extra sand, and I'll actually use it in 3 parts. 3 parts horticultural sand, 3 parts John Innes, and so 1 part horticultural sand, 1 part John Innes loam-based soil, or any loam-based soil rather than peat, and 1 part of perlite and grit. In this case, I've used a little mixture of perlite and grit together in 1 part, 50-50. But I've made the links up above to a video on how to make your own cactus and succulent plant soil. And this is more or less the same type of mix I've used there in the percentages. But if you've obviously got different types of cacti that like more water, such as Christmas cacti, epiphyllums and Easter cacti and schlumbergers and all that, them types, then it's a different mix again. You can use more peat and less sand. But as in this case, this is the more well draining the better, especially as this plant has suffered from rot previously. Now what I'm doing here, I've made the mix, because tip it out, put a little bit in, and it's going to rest it in here. Now I'm going to be keeping this plant pretty dry for the next few weeks, just lightly spraying it with water just to gently ease it into re-rooting itself again. As I say, the roots took a bit of a knock in here, so it's all about trying to get this plant to get itself back again. I don't know if this is going to recover long term. As I say, with this type of problem with the root rot, it can be pretty one way or another, but at least it's healed over, it's calloused over. The other one went pretty quickly. The other one I tried to save. Luckily this one seems to have healed up, and I'm just going to put some more soil in here as I've made the mix up. And stay tuned in the coming weeks on how this plant does. These are very specialised plants, the Lophophora, and I know that sadly they are banned in many parts, in fact practically all parts of the US, which is crazy because it's banned because it obviously has mescaline properties in the alkaloids in the skin, but you'd have to eat a hell of a lot of these to get any type of effect. And the ones that you grow in cultivation, you're not going to get anything from. Not that I would know. I've never took anything. I don't even smoke or anything. Me and Hans are very clean living, but we get asked all the time about taking these, and no, we do not take them. Not into eating cacti, but into growing them. But obviously each to their own. and we're not here to judge. And so there you go, that's it. A little label on here. And as I say, we'll do future updates on how it gets on. And the good news is this one seems to be saved. Just going to be lightly spraying it with rainwater, clean rainwater, over the coming days and weeks. And hopefully it should start to reroute itself and recover. So stay tuned for future updates, guys. But so far, good news. So guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you're not sure on how to grow these weird and wacky Lophophora plants, links are above to a video I've also made on how to care and grow for Lophophora. I've been growing Lophophora for many, many years. Well over probably 25 years now, and always had pretty much good success. I've grown a lot of them from seed as well, very rewarding, and it's very rarely I have any problems. Spider mite is probably the most annoying thing that affects these type of plants, and then other than that they're pretty much resistant, and they are very cold hardy as well if you're growing in a colder climate, as long as they're kept totally dry over the winter. So guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power, as always, from Ireland. And until the next video, guys, bye.